2, 3,
talking about destruction. Well, don't you know that you can count me out? Alright, alright, alright. You say you're on a resolution. Well, you know we got love just in the plan. You're asking for a contribution. Well, you know we are doing what we can. But if you want money for people with minds that hate, all I can tell you is, brother, you have to wait.
Alright everybody, this is Bill, my father-in-law, and I'm going to ask him a few simple questions. Number one, how old do you think you were when you heard your first Beatles song?
I was probably 12.
12? Do you remember what it was?
I think it was I Want to Hold Your Hand.
You want to hold, I want to hold your hand, okay. So, how do you think that made you feel? I mean, what was the feelings you were getting when you first heard that? Did you hear about Beatlemania before that, or was that like your first experience?
They were having a contest between Elvis Presley and the Beatles, and to see who was a greater rocker. And they did this for a couple of weeks on the radio stations.
Right.
And first week, Elvis won, and then shortly thereafter, the Beatles took over. And then it wasn't long after that they did the Ed Sullivan Show.
Right.
And I was there for that. I saw that.
Right.
And my dad thought it was funny. He said it looked like they had Super Bowls put over their head for a haircut. It was great. Man.
Right. But that was a consensus among older people back then too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the older generation.
As time went by, the older generation learned to love them almost as much as we did.
Right. Of course. And that's something we were talking about earlier in the truck also, about it doesn't matter what age you are. At some point, it seems like a majority of people get touched, even in different countries, you know, by their music.
Sure, most everybody loves it.
Right,
Yeah.
most everybody. Okay, that's cool. So we're going to find some other people and see what they think about it. All right, we got... What's your name, bro? Riker and? Shirley. All right. I guess we'll start off with, like, how'd you guys enjoy the show tonight?
It was pretty good.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Is it like, have you ever been to another tribute show before, or is this your first one?
It's the first one.
Is your first one? How about you?
My first one too.
Is your first one? What kind of expectations did you have? I mean, what did you think you was going to see?
Well, I didn't think they'd sound like they did. They sounded pretty much like that.
Pretty close. Not too bad. I've seen 1964 the tribute before a couple years ago at the Wichita Theater, and they did like earlier stuff, and it was pretty good, you know. But they didn't venture off into the later things, you know what I mean? So I'm guessing you're his mom, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I just didn't know if you're aunt or whatever. I don't know. You're pretty hot. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You're pretty hot. Okay. Okay. Don't listen, Riker. Okay. Your mom's pretty hot. Anyway.
See?
She's like, I told you so. I told you your friends were hitting on me. You just thought they was being nice. Anyway, so did you get him involved with the Beatles, or did you just kind of like discover it on your own kind of deal?
Well, my dad used to listen to classic rock, and I just kind of
Right.
took that and went with it.
So like he was listening to classic rock and he was like, oh, who the fuck is that, man? They're badass, you know.